Welcome to yet another video in our client education series. I'm John, the owner of Cabinet Painting Vancouver. Today we're going to talk about a question you'll need to answer if you're either replacing your doors in your existing kitchen or building a new kitchen from scratch. And that question is, do I go with wood doors or MDF doors? Before we jump in, if you don't know what MDF is, I'll give you a brief description. MDF stands for medium density fiberboard. And what that actually means in plain English is it's 82% wood fiber, which is the consistency of sawdust, 9% glue, 8% water, and 1% wax. This composite material can be cut or shaped into any door or molding profile. Now that we've covered that, let's look at MDF as a cabinet door material. MDF has a lot of good qualities, which is why it's gaining in popularity. It's cheaper than solid wood doors, and it has a smooth and uniform finish, which is ideal for getting a perfect painted finish. Because of the density of the wood fiber, it actually makes for quite a heavy and solid feeling door, unlike some of the cheaper solid wood shaker doors that feel very light and might rattle as they close. The durability and impact resistance is also quite good, though not as good as most wood doors, as they will be made from hardwoods. One of the major advantages of MDF with a painted finish is the stability of the material. Your home goes through constant temperature and humidity changes, which would cause a wood door to expand and contract throughout the year. MDF doesn't do this, which has a lot of benefits. Expansion and contraction happening under a painted finish is a major cause of paint failures, whether it's on cabinets, siding, or fascia boards. I'll explain more about that when we discuss wood doors. It also means that the doors won't warp over time as wood doors can do, especially where humidity is a serious issue. Another benefit of MDF doors is that they can be made out of a solid piece of MDF. Wood doors typically have 5 pieces of wood that have to be joined together, and those joints can crack, separate, or come apart altogether, which we've seen on quite a few kitchens. If there is a center panel, this also needs to be able to expand and contract independently of the frame, so there will be a gap around the edges of the panel called an expansion gap. If you're painting your cabinet, this gap must remain. So a nice white door will have a black gap around the center panel. I once built a DIY ottoman for a couch in my home. The wood was wet from the lumberyard, so I just put some thick steel straps on the underside just to see if it would limit the amount the wood could contract. And as the wood dried and shrank, it bent all of the steel straps. So if you try to caulk that expansion gap, know that the caulking or anything else that you try to fill it with will crack. We also can't forget about the environmental impact of your cabinet door choice. MDF is made of residual pieces of softer hardwood lumber and can even contain recycled components. A lot of people are hesitant about MDF, and they still say that wood doors are the only way to go, without exception. And I find that the reason for this is usually because of what happens to MDF when it gets water damaged. Since it's made up of dense wood fibers, those fibers act like a sponge if water can get through a failed or compromised finish. It then swells, looks unsightly, and begins to degrade. If left long enough, it can make the doors difficult to repair or in need of replacement entirely. This will usually happen in areas like underneath the sink and other areas where there is constant water. This is a valid concern, but a little knowledge can go a long way here. The swelling is very easily repaired if caught early and addressed. The area just needs to be sanded and the finish touched up so that water can no longer penetrate. We at Cabinet Painting Vancouver leave clients with touch-up paint and also offer free annual touch-ups. As long as you have the ability to address any problem areas that come up over the years, your cabinets can stay looking new. Where this can be problematic is if you have purchased new cabinets from a company other than us. When you call them after a few years and ask them to touch up a few doors, it's very unlikely that they'll offer a solution. So you'll be stuck with a small repair job that few people will want to take on. The other concerns with MDF are relatively minor. While they do have good dent resistance, it will not be as hard as a hardwood door and will damage a little easier. And as touched on before, if MDF is left to swell for quite a long time, it can mean replacing a door or a panel. The last item is that MDF won't hold screws as well as natural wood. While this may seem like an issue that would cause doors just to fall off over time as the hinge screws strip, in my experience, we actually see wood doors breaking as the joints come unglued, and we see that more often than MDF doors failing on their hinges. And both issues are quite rare. The last issue is that MDF is obviously only suited for a painted finish. It doesn't have the natural beauty of raw wood, so if you want a stained finish, you're going to be defaulting to a hardwood door. Okay, so now we've covered MDF. Now let's get into the wood doors. On the price front, solid wood doors are going to be the more expensive option. As the number of people on the planet grow and the number of trees decrease, wood becomes more and more expensive. To build a kitchen entirely out of oak, as was popular from the 70s through the 90s, would be cost prohibitive today, which is why hardwoods are typically only used for the aesthetic parts of your cabinetry that you'll actually see on the exterior. One of the main features of natural wood is the natural beauty and the warmth it brings to a well-designed space. A rift-sawn whiteout kitchen will have a look and feel that no painted finish can ever achieve. And while expensive, if you want a kitchen that is on trend and will look stunning, natural wood can be unbeatable. The variety of species, grain profiles, and stain colors available with natural wood doors also give a huge range of possibilities for the look and style of your kitchen. The durability of your hardwood cabinet components will also be unbeatable. Hardwoods are exactly that, hard. They resist impacts and will also hold up very well to constant water around sinks and dishwashers. Even if the finish fails, the door will remain intact and the finish just needs to be repaired. And if you do have damage to your wood door, it's also fairly easy to repair the damage with wood fillers, touch-up pens, or just a clear coat touch-up. Solid wood doors are the best and the only choice if you want the appearance of natural wood. And that's where they really shine. But a wood door that is destined for a painted finish can have some issues. As we described earlier, wood doors are typically 5 pieces of wood that is joined together to make a seam. And depending on how well those joints were constructed, the seams may still show slightly once painted. And since they expand and contract so much with the changes in atmospheric humidity, small hairline cracks can form as they separate the finish on the doors. These cracks will often appear in one season and disappear in the next, but it is compromising the finish. The other issue is the expansion gap, which we've touched on before. We've had comments from a few clients over the years who were annoyed when their white cabinets have a dark shadow line around the center panel. When asked to caulk it or somehow make it disappear, we have to explain that it is unfortunately not possible, and any short-term solution will just cause issues down the road. Another issue that can come with natural wood doors is warping from humidity. This can be an issue around kettles, dishwashers, and other areas with a lot of humidity. Once this happens, a door is warped, there is no remedy but replacement. And one final consideration is the environmental consequences of the choice of natural wood. Woods used for cabinetry are hardwoods like oak, maple, and cherry. Because of the highly aesthetic quality of the final product, choice cuts of wood are required. And those hardwood trees can take as much as 40 years to mature to where they're ready for harvest and use. So the ecological footprint is generally higher in this case. So you might ask, what do we actually recommend to our clients who are seeking new doors? Well, since our clients are always opting to go with a painted finish, we always recommend an MDF door. It's a solid one-piece construction that will not expand or contract, it won't require expansion gaps, and it will not warp over time. Since Cabinet Painting Vancouver provides touch-up paint, free annual touch-ups, and a lifetime aftercare plan, our clients also don't have to worry should there be any wear down the road, as we'll be there to fix it before it becomes a bigger issue. Natural wood does look stunning and has some great qualities given the right application, but we favor MDF for a painted finish. We hope that this will give you some good information so that you can make a more informed decision when it comes time to do your own project. If you're in the Vancouver area and would like to see how we can help create your own dream kitchen, just book your free consultation through our website. Thanks again for watching.